Welcome agents, today I've got a whole host of new information to talk about, which includes PlayStation official confirming the press event embargo date being pushed back, the approximate campaign length, weapon skins and more. As always, if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit the like button below and subscribe for the most dedicated Division channel on YouTube. Turn on notifications to make sure you never miss any of my videos, and with that said, let's do this. Okay, so the biggest news to come out recently was PlayStation Official Magazine confirming that they would be featuring the Division 2 in their magazine on January 15th, meaning this was likely going to be the Embargo End Date, as I'm sure PlayStation Official were part of the press event invited to record and play the Division 2 just like other content creators did. Now, I did cover this in my last video if you haven't checked that out, but today I wanted to revisit this because one of my loyal fans, Obi Kenobi, or Obi Adi Kenobi, I think that's how you say it, whose Twitter handle is #AgentSanta, tagged me in a conversation with them and the OPM UK, or Official PlayStation Magazine UK, where they revealed the embargo has been pushed back by Ubisoft. Now check this out. So Obi tweeted at OPM UK and said, "Hey guys, is it true the February issue for release on the 15th is featuring the Division 2? If so, that's awesome. Can't wait to play it. Is there a link I can buy it, please? I'm not used to grabbing mags anymore." I just want to stress here that Obi actually meant January issue because that's when it's going to be coming out, not February. Now, OPM UK responded saying, "It does. You can get it in UK stores or order from the site from the 17th onwards," and then they provided the website you purchase it from. Obi responded questioning the date by saying, "Thanks, but what's this all about then? Is this guys from you? And it says 15th, I'm confused." Obi makes a good point because the official magazine cover says the 15th of January. However, they have confirmed in this tweet that it's going to be the 17th instead. So OPM UK responded saying, "After we went to print, Ubisoft moved the embargo on our exclusive. Next issue is now on sale January 17th. So this does confirm that the press event embargo was due to be lifted on the 15th of January, but it has been pushed back until the 17th now. So I wonder why Ubi moved the press event or the embargo date back by 2 days. Let me know what you think in the comments below, agents. I'm starting to think that the private beta will be coming out on the 18th of January now, which is a Friday, and it will run until the 21st of January, being the Monday. So over the weekend, it would make sense that they would have the beta over a weekend, as that's when most people will be able to play. We could then see the closed beta coming out on the 1st of February, again a Friday, and end on the 4th of February. And this would match up with the leak date on the Walmart Canada website stating the 1st of February. I think that leak is actually for the closed beta and not the private beta. And I'd be pretty happy with that, as I'm sure all of you agents would be too. So as of right now, I personally think the private beta could be coming out on January 18th, so watch this space. Next up, and again this information was found by Obi. I cannot stress this enough, I never found this stuff. Obi or #AgentSanta found this stuff, so all credit to him. They tweeted me showcasing 2 actors that are confirmed to be playing roles within the Division 2. The first, Clayton T. Smith, says military engineer under what he is doing within the Division 2. And the second, which is the most interesting, is Cyril Smith, which says SHIELD. Now, military engineer is pretty simple and obvious, but SHIELD could really mean many things, or anything really. Could this be confirmation that the ballistic shield is coming back in the Division 2? Now, I've talked about this before, and I am 99.9999% sure that it is coming back, so I don't think it is this. Could he voice the leader of a new SHIELD faction? Maybe. This one actually could be really possible, but it really could be anything at this point. I'm kind of just plucking at anything really here, but I thought I'd want to get you agents involved, so leave your suggestions in the comments below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this shield for the Division 2. It may be something to do with the raid. We just don't know at this point. Moving on, and it appears another retailer has released some information that Ubisoft may or may not have wanted to be released. Video game retailer Game have revealed that the campaign length for the Division 2 is approximately 40 hours, which is about a 25% increase over the Division campaign length on average. Of course, everyone plays the game at their own pace, but generally the Division campaign was about 25 to 30 hours, so this would be a significant increase, which I think is a good move because I really enjoyed the Division campaign, and I'm sure the Division 2 will not disappoint in this area either. If you want to check the game link out, it will be in the description below. Next up, and this is not something new, but something I've not really seen many people talk about. On the game link, if you go down in the description below and click on it, you'll see a custom image showcasing everything you get with the Washington DC edition of the game. Yes, there is another edition on top of the thousands there already are, which includes an M4A1 skin, which is exotic quality. Now, this does likely confirm that there will be different tiers of rareness when it comes to weapon skins within the Division too, and I would assume this would include skins for anything else. Whilst this hasn't been confirmed by Ubisoft, I'm sure we'll actually be able to customize every piece of gear within the Division 2, and to me, I'm really looking forward to collecting the rarest skins within the game. Let me know what you guys think about that as well, in the comments below, of course. So agents, it looks as though we will be getting new Division information on January 17th when the press event embargo is lifted. So we're going to be getting them all from the press, we're going to be getting them from content creators everywhere, which I personally cannot wait for. And whilst I don't have access to that information, I will be covering it as best as I can for you guys. Now, the private beta is likely to come out now on January 18th, and the campaign length will be approximately 40 hours. What do you all think of this information? Before you head to the comments, a lot of you asked how I spec'd my high-end build in my last video. So I want to end my video showing you, agents, how I run my high-end build within the Division. So enjoy. Alright, so this is the high-end build that I actually ran in my last video. And I'm just going to go over it with you guys because a lot of you asked what I used. And it's a really, really strong build. If you don't want to go with the meta Striker, Nomad, because Striker, even on console, is still really, really strong, but mainly it's Pred and Nomad. If you don't want to go with those and you want to try something a bit different, then I'd highly recommend this. So, first off, the weapon of choice that I got is the House, of course. I don't really use the Brutal House, I actually use this one. I don't know why I've got it on that one. It's got Hurried, Deadly, Card Counter. Ideally, you don't want Hurried here, you want something like Unforgiven, probably. That's what I would prefer to have, but this is the best that I can get. And of course, as with any build mainly, you want to be speccing the House with crit damage and crit chance. So as you can see, red dot sights, crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage. We've got the loud vent break, which is crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage. We've got the grip for crit damage, optimal range and stability. I've gone for optimal range here because I find that I do like to shoot this a little bit further than some of my other weapons. I kind of use this like an assault rifle sometimes. So having that little bit of extra optimal range does actually help. And again, with the extended magazine, I've not gone for rate of fire here because it's really not needed. I've gone for that extra crit chance and crit damage instead. And we got magazine size. And you can see my my weapon skin here. As I said, we should be getting exotic quality of these in the Division 2, so that'll be really, really cool. Secondary weapon, I've just got my SVD. It's really up to you. Sometimes I use my M700 Carbon. I've got this M700 Carbon with Deadly Prepared Competent. That's my Deadeye one. And I've also got this one, which is Brutal Prepared Elevated. I actually use this one more on builds that I'm not running Deadeye on, just because it's got Brutal for that headshot damage as well as Elevated. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I like to use my Surplus SVD just because you can spam it, and it's a pretty good weapon, even when you're not running Deadeye, for example. Now, the build itself, as you can see here, we're just going to go over. We got the Barrett's Bulletproof Vest. Reason being is because obviously, you get those good buffs. As you can see there, we get the 10% skill power when no skills are on cooldown. And when we do use something like Booster Shot, then we do get an extra 5% damage as well, as per the second talent there on the Barrett's Bulletproof Chest Piece. And on this one, I got Exotic Damage Resilience, and then we got 2 mods, Stamina, Health, Stamina, Skill Haste. To be honest, with the mods, I didn't really look into it much. I just kind of went with Stamina and Health and Skill Haste where I could, really, to be honest. But Exotic Damage Resilience is really, really important within this meta, so I'd highly recommend putting it where you can. We've got a Refresh Mask, which is really strong on this, because obviously you're going to get that extra heal when you're in your last segment of health, that extra 30%, which is important, especially when you're running Booster Shot and you don't get much of a heal anyway. We've got Exotic Damage Resilience here. You could go for Crit Chance, but really, when you're running this build, you don't need it. You've got so much Crit Chance anyway, it's not really needed. And that extra 10% EDR actually makes more of a difference, at least in my opinion. With this one, we've got a Firearms mod with Firearms and Skill Haste. Now, the reason these mods is kind of like, I've got Stamina some places, Firearms others, is because I like to get my stats where I've got 6.5 Firearms and almost 5.5 Stamina. I think that's the best kind of equilibrium when it comes to the high-end build. Sometimes I do actually like to have a little bit more Firearms and a little bit less Stamina, but sometimes I just feel that's too squishy. It's really just however you feel. The short bow knee pads, most of the time I forget I've even got these on, but these are really, really strong. They're the best knee pads in the game, outside of, obviously, any sort of 6-piece, but just for general knee pads, they are the best. definitely in PvP. I've gone for health, disorient, burn, and blind death resistance. Really, you'd want bleed resistance here and shock resistance, but I can't be too picky. And then mods-wise, we've gone for first aid self-heal for the performance mod, and we've gone for firearms with skill haste. Moving on to the backpack, of course, specialise, which is really important in this. It will give you a much bigger heal, give you that extra bit of damage as well. So we've got health on here and burn resistance as well. And I've modded this firearms, and we've got first aid self-heal on both of these. As you can probably tell, I'm running first aid self-heal for all of my mods on this one. Of course, the crux of this build is the Skull MC gloves. And this is the only way to spec it, which is crit chance, crit damage, and SMG damage with this build. And then lastly, we got Colonel Bliss's holster. This is really good. This holster is really good, but I never ever use the talent. So if you're like me and you never actually use a pistol, I don't know if I've got anything on me, but you might want to use something like Nimble or something else, really, to be honest. But yeah, I use it sometimes, but I didn't use it in my last video. That is what I'm trying to say. And with this one, I've gone for skill haste. The reason being is just like to get my skills back as soon as possible, really. Just so I can use that booster shot more often, and other things as well. So if we just quickly go over and have a look at my abilities here, as you'll see, I'm running booster shot, and I'm running Immunizer obviously for Pred, and Booster Shot. The reason I don't run Pulse is because I run Precision, which actually gives you much better Pulse. It gives you, I believe it gives you 15% crit damage and 7.5% crit chance, which is enough for this build. I don't need to actually run a Pulse, and it means I've just got 2 ways to heal and keep myself alive. We've got On the Move, we've also got Adrenaline, which is really important in skirmish or anything where Predator's on. If you're running in a server and there's no Pred, then I'd highly recommend using, where is it? Highly recommend using Combat Medic, because this will help all of your other teammates. And really, there you are, guys. That's the build I like running. Let me know what you think of the build in the comments below. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Thanks for your support on all of my videos. It's truly amazing. Until the next one, Epic out.